is the Motovation Podcast, hosted by Laurie Joy Kingwell and Krissy Vann. That's me. And we're taking you on a little off-roading.
And every single week, we're going to be joined by our dope friend, Richelle from True Grit Moto.
Woo! Hey, I floss.
And every week, we're going to ask each other stupid questions, and we're going to answer them. And why, you may ask? Because we can. All right, this is your Motovation
Off-road edition.
I need water. Stand by.
I got you.
I get that either, but I probably won't drink it. So why bother?
Yeah, I definitely. I mean, I got this really good green juice these days. I've been smashing that.
Oh, nice.
Are you making
Your
it?
green juice.
Nope. I definitely have bought it at the store. It's in a box. You get it Safeway. It comes in strawberry banana, and green juice flavor. And I'm pretty sure it's just straight sugar. But
I was just going to say, you have a juice box.
Oh, honey.
You just have a fancy juice box, is what you just described.
I love it. I love how you guys are like, what? How did you make it? What's in that thing? And I'm like, well, it's Sunny D. And
I've been juicing lately.
We were waiting for I woke up and I was hand pressing avocados.
Yeah. I honestly should. It's about time.
Mind over matter.
Yeah.
If you believe it, you got a green juice with ginger and lemon and cucumber right in your hand.
Oh, I do. You know what? But I do still do the 5 mushrooms in my coffee every morning. That's key.
Nice.
It offsets the sugar.
It's supposed to be good for your brain, cognitive. I mean, fungi, so funky.
I love fungi. I'm a new fan of fungi. I'm in it. So,
do you want to start with mine because it's got a special feature?
Let's hit it, spicy pickle.
Whoa, cliffhanger.
Number one, have you heard the Hazel motorcycle drama on? Oh, Laurie, you're frozen again.
No, I had my eyes closed. I didn't even think of the last time. I legit was just closing my eyes to listen. That was fucking so funny. Good. I was frozen the last time we recorded. I was frozen the entire episode with my eyes closed. And
what?
But legit. And then this time's the only time I've ever done that where I
in slow motion though.
I did. That's fuck. As soon as you said, I was like, no, I really am just leaning in with my eyes closed. Okay. We're back. I know.
Okay. So have you heard about the Hazel motorcycle drama on TikTok? Has it made it into your social media universe?
I don't know who Hazel is.
That's okay. You will.
Okay. Gotcha. Almost
a massive swath of motorcyclists on TikTok now do. So first I'll play the video that was posted. You're going to hear a gentleman throw to the video because she took the video down.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So Hazel online some dust has been kicked up, and here is why.
Watch out for motorcycles. Watch out for motorcycles. Watch for motorcycles. When is the last time you have ever seen a motorcycle obey the laws of the road? I'll wait. Yeah, that's what I thought. We need to watch for them. How about they watch for us? Because they're the ones weaving in and out of traffic. They're the ones trying to pass me on the shoulder. They're the ones that don't know how their directionals work. I'm tired of watching for motorcycles. I'm just trying to drive. I'm just trying to live my life. I'm tired of watching for their safety. They could try being safe once in a while. Take the stress off of me. I've got my own things to handle. I can't be watching out for motorcycles too. Motorcycles need to learn to watch out for themselves. Or better yet, motorcycles better learn to watch out for me. Because I'm going to start speed bumps. I'm going to start hitting them and I'm just going to keep going. Watch for motorcycles.
Oh, God. Okay, so who is Hazel? Who is she?
Hazel was just a TikToker that would do either beauty, not a mass influencer, but just random vlogging that has gone exceptionally viral because of this post. Because you can imagine the motorcycle community on TikTok is massive.
Yeah.
And there were tons of videos in the aftermath of people duetting with her, where they were showing the photos of their loved ones that have died in motorcycle accidents. There were tons that were talking about the fact that we're not all lumped in one group as being entirely unsafe dickwads. This got so big, though, you can imagine there's a lot of characters in the motorcycle community involved in X and Y. So there is something basically called swatting on the internet. So basically the term kind of came from where they hunt down and figure out where you live and send like a SWAT team to your address kind of thing.
Oh God.
They kind of reverse engineered it differently and found out where she lived. And organized rides around her house with hundreds of bikers. Like she's had to do a please don't murder me video. So what are the takes on Hazel?
I think it's one of those exact things where people say shit online and they think it's clever, they think it's funny, and then they say shit that they think there's no repercussions, and there's repercussions. Yeah. And I don't think that she deserves necessarily like any death threats, but I absolutely think she deserves to have people on bikes driving past her home, letting her know of like, you want to put this shit out there of like threatening essentially our lives, because that's what you're doing. The very real reality of like the dangers of us and cars on the road. So yeah, I'm just like, look at it as like, you literally you threw that fishing rod into the ocean and you got some big catches. And they may not have been, you thought you were getting a bunch of guppies, you got fucking sharks. And yeah. So, okay, Hazel, like, maybe you think twice before you just throw your clever little shit around. What I do think is a fair point, though, to a certain extent, is the component of, riders need to also be responsible about how they behave in traffic and the biases that they, like help double down on. You've got a bunch of assholes on the road. I've been one of them every blue moon. And it's one of those things that if you're going to ask for people to be considerate of you, you need to be considerate as well, because it can't just be a one-way street. And the reality of it is like, if they run into you, you've got a damaged car, they're dead. So, or badly injured. Yep. So it's like, there's obviously no black and white to it, but I think what she's getting in her life as far as it goes, I don't know if she's getting death threats or not. Maybe she is, because she's saying, please don't murder me. Obviously that's overboard. She's a senseless person making senseless comments in that moment. She doesn't deserve to die for it or be threatened to die, but she absolutely should have the presence of people saying, you spoke to us, we listened, and here we are. Is there anything else you'd like to follow up with?
That's what I was going to say, Laurie.
Genius.
Crazy.
It's like, that's all you got for us, Richelle?
You're genius.
Word for word, exactly what I was going to say. It's impressive.
I just feel like the entire thing is such a classic play stupid games, win stupid prizes.
Yeah, fuck around and find out.
She did issue an apology video, and I understand when people feel the wrath of the internet. I do give kudos when there is a public accountability that takes place, because you don't have to do that. But even in her apology, it was kind of like, it wasn't my intention to.
I bet, yeah.
And I'm like, well, what was the intention when you started?
You said you were going to bump us. You said you were going to run into us. What was your intention?
What is the intention? Just like she said, I'll wait. What was the fucking intention of that? Because to your point, I think that obviously with motorcyclists, and we are motorcyclists, yes, you see things on the road that happen that give the bad rap and the blanket. But when it comes to vehicle traffic, I was a traffic reporter for years. And I can tell you that vehicle drivers in cars also don't use turn signals sometimes. Also,
they're horrible.
Also are the ones that are on their fucking phone. You were sitting in your car recording on your phone, like, not to say, okay, fine, you're maybe parked, but distracted driving is massive. Did you know that if you are on your phone, you can actually travel 2 lengths of a football field while glancing at a text if you're on a highway speed?
Right.
So
it's terrifying.
You don't really have a mass argument here. And Hazel, just get a motorcycle. You would be more relaxed.
Oh, totally. Even a scooter.
Right?
Hazel just needs fresh air, but she can't, because she can't leave her home. Oh, Hazel.
Oh, she can't.
Oh, Hazel. Oh,
Richelle,
Hazel.
I really do want a hot take from you, because
Yeah, I think this is the day and age where people are just like saying shit to just say shit. And I think she went viral and maybe she wanted that.
Yeah.
But then she got it and it ended up being maybe not the direction she was hoping to go for. I think that motorcyclists, for a lot of people, even though we're in the industry, I think a lot of people are really terrified of motorcyclists. I think a lot of like really bad rap has been put on motorcyclists because of the past, you know. We're not all gangsters. I mean, not everyone. I personally am, but
yeah, I was gonna say you are though. So
and you know, if I had her address, I would just go down there and
you take her a tea and be like, let's sit down.
The things I would do to her door. So
I would knock it so hard before I give her a solid talking to.
I would bleed knocking on that door, you know, just saying my piece about that and just really give her a piece of my mind. So
can we have just a quick little glimpse of what that would be like? I'm Hazel. Okay, knock on the door.
Bang, bang, bang.
Please stop and leave me alone. I apologize for what I said. I'm not opening the door.
Shut up. I'd say you shut up right now because you know what you want to say things and you know what you said. Come out here, talk to me like a woman. Come outside.
I'm not gonna. And also, you knocked on my door, so why are you telling me to shut up?
You are a baby, and only babies would say something like that. So try me again. Come out here. I'm on my Honda Jazz, and try and hit me. It's bright red, bitch. I'd say you're a bitch. Bye.
Oh my God. If I'm ever disgruntled, I'm going to call you up and I'm going to be like, girl, get in. And I'm going to unleash you on them. Because the torrential downpour that you just came down on Hazel with.
Oh,
and you brought really the Honda Jazz.
Grinds my grits, you know? Really gets me going. Gets me farted up. I'll calm down.
Just a side note, and this isn't one of my ones, but you just got me farted up. Texas just had to a Texas library just had to get like court ordered or something or other that they had to put the books back that had talked about farts and something else that wasn't even really, controversial. It was just like a natural body.
Like they banned the fart?
Yeah, if it had, yeah. So if
How
the book's also
not one of yours.
Well, yeah, it was a tough call, guys. But I, you know what? Look at that. I've got it in there.
Right.
All the same.
Are we not supposed to? Are children of today supposed to hold in their farts for life?
No,
we're just not supposed to talk about it. It's like women don't poop, people don't fart. Yeah,
and then they have to go like, "Oh God, what's that?"
Yeah, and they're like, "We'll never know until we go to another state."
A woman's first queef.
Oh,
yeah.
No one prepares you for that.
Nobody knows.
Oh,
well, I mean, imagine being a parent talking about queefing. How do you even start? How do you begin?
All right, Richelle, I am the child. You're the mom.
Yeah.
Queefing.
I'll say, have you ever put a balloon on the end of an exhaust? There's a sound. And it'll sound quite a lot like that. It's like,
that's pretty on point.
But why, Mom?
Well,
why would it do that?
It's an expression of excitement. And we all as women talk to each other through the ether. And when we want to reach out, we do this thing where we fart out of our
vaginas.
And
imagine how terrifying that would be if you just found out that like once you hit puberty, you were going to start to have vagina farts when other women were around.
You didn't do that before vagina farts or before puberty?
Vagina farts? Why would I?
Mine were like generated by air
Sex.
going in. Yeah.
I've only ever had queefs at sex. I've never just queefed.
Also,
my
I just
God.
described sex as air going in.
Also, tell me when you're queefing. Like, when are you queefing? Why
I
is
don't
air
queef a
being
lot.
thrown into
I'm
your
a
vagina?
lesbian, okay, and
I figured,
I
but
don't
you're
do the
queefing.
thing.
It sounds
But
like
I
differently.
think sometimes people just queef off the cuff. You know, my ex used to be able to queef on command. She could
Come on.
queef the alphabet. Oh yeah, it was crazy. Yeah, let me try right now.
Oh, America's Next Got Talent. You're going to shit your
It's not
pants.
happening. Yeah, it's not a queef. It's not happening.
You're
It's a
going to
queef.
accidentally shit your pants, and we're going to still post this.
I'm
love
so
it.
intrigued now. Like, are there like the queefers and the non-queefers?
I'm pretty sure.
Right.
I'm pretty sure a lot of people, I think, can queef outside of.
It's like
sexual
cilantro.
intercourse.
For some people, it tastes like soap, and for others, they enjoy it. Maybe
I don't know if it's like
genetic-
cilantro. I don't know if queefing's like cilantro. I don't know. I don't think it is.
But maybe.
But maybe.
That's fine.
Maybe.
That's fine.
All
Texas
right.
Library didn't see that coming. We should send this to them.
We should send this to them.
And then we're going to be like, we agree, Texas. They should never be in your libraries.
Freaking Texas. I still want to go.
You might not come out of
Tourism
alive.
Texas.
A queefing lesbian that also farts, you won't make it out alive.
They're gonna kill me. I know it. As I'm dying, I'll be farting and queefing.
I feel like
and
Hazel's probably from Texas or a state like it. It's
Syracuse,
definitely a red
New
state.
York.
Oh, never mind.
yeah. Oh,
We kept it
Quiff.
generic. Not
I loved it.
Okay.
That
Put
was
it
so
down.
intense.
You ready? I'm going to take, which
Hit
one should
it.
I do? Okay, I'm going to do this one. So there's this remote Amazon tribe that's finally connected to the internet because of good old Elon Musk. Krissy
I
knows where
love
this is headed.
Amazon.
I sure did.
I love Amazon.
I love shopping.
And so the internet comes to this remote forest tribe in the Amazon. And
I get it.
they have access to the world. It's at their fingertips. But what's taking place is there's been quite the divide. And it's really kind of torn up the community because all the men have got addicted to the porn sites.
What's happening? What?
Yeah. That's quite literally like the like, you know,
Can
the
we
chief of the
rephrase
village
that?
is like, we are divided and have been torn apart by this because now, and they've gotten more aggressive in their sexual prowess within the tribe as well. So, Lord of the Flies.
Can you imagine though? Like, obviously porn addiction's a thing anywhere in the world. But imagine that you did live in this remote land.
Yeah.
And I don't know how they have sex in regards to like what the go-to positions are in that environment. But can you imagine opening up Pornhub and going on the categories tab and being like, what? And then also, would you question and be like, we've been doing it all wrong. Sally, James, Joe,
Do you
we need you all
think their
in here
names are
together.
Sally, Joe, and James in the Amazon #1?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Absolutely not.
The whitest names we could have grabbed.
They're what came up in my head.
Yeah, no, love it.
And invite them all in because you would be like, this is supposed to be a group activity. You know?
They're just like, so this is where I strangle you while you climax. Like,
That's what I mean.
they're all like, what?
All of these things.
What? I don't know. Yeah.
So because of Elon Musk's internet thing,
yeah.
how do they have
access.
computers? How do they have computers? Is what I
they
want
might, I didn't
They're
really
at
dig
Apple Store
too deep.
and Amazon, but so the internet's accessible. This tribe in the Amazon is watching porn. They're not on Marketplace. I don't know why they would be there. That's where I would be. And and they started watching porn. Like,
and now they're like, that's all they watch, and they're like absorbed with it to the point where like it's created all these ripple effects in the community that they're just like, we can't undo this, and almost like this has kind of fucked us.
I want a spoof movie on this. I want to know how and who went down there and did a research video on these Amazonians watching porn and found out that they were just like going wild over this stuff. I want to know where they got their laptops and their cell phones. I want to know how on earth they even found out the internet was available.
Yeah.
I want to know all these things. And then I want to see them watching porn for the first time and what happens after that.
Oh, reaction videos.
Yes. I want to know all this stuff.
Yes.
Like,
that's what I mean. Like the porn buffet is massive. So I can kind of see if you just discovered that.
It makes sense.
Like, what in the world? And then obviously,
I remember my reaction.
You're like, okay.
Yeah. These guys have seen like all of 10 women too. Keep in mind, their whole lives, they've seen like their little village of women and that's it. And so also you're seeing all these different men, women, non-bi, every type of human out there that is available to your eyes, also in a sexual arena.
And I bet the women are going, we can kiss each other. Awesome.
Right?
Some of the men too. Some of the men may be like, oh, finally see the non-binary. Maybe that feels more right. Yeah, representation, man.
Docking and soaking or whatever they do. What's it called?
Pegging. Docking.
Pegasus. They're doing the damn thing.
What do you feel like would be the thing that if you never had seen the internet and you'd only seen this like little window of life and then all of a sudden you have access, what do you think would blow your mind the most?
Santa Claus isn't real.
Oh, yeah. Do you think, and you're a remote, and you're on your remote little area, they have a belief system in Santa Claus? That's what I also love.
Like, that came to mind. I'm just going with gut reactions.
I love it. Yeah.
I would probably be shocked by hazing. I'd be like, why do they do this to each other?
Yeah.
Although tribes do some fucked up shit to each other, like put plates in their lips. So they might be like, look, it is normal.
Yeah, but there's just like all these kids like fucking each other's butts for like angry
not
things.
Kids.
Yeah, teenagers. The college hazing.
I see what you mean.
High school hazing. Like kids doing things to each other that you're like, why is this on the porn site? What's happening? Why is it popping up? Turn it off.
Oh, I was wondering where the hazing porn connection happened. So you still ended up on the internet, went straight to porn, and then went to hazing porn. I see.
But also,
I remember being shocked about that when I would go on porn sites and I would be looking and then something would pop up and it would be like high school kids hazing and I was like, ew, stop, chain it, get out of here. Nobody wants to see that. But it's like billions of views, like everybody's watching it.
I remember a kid that I went to high school with, not sexually hazed as far as I know, but he got branded on his butt. But he had like extreme burns. Like they branded him with like a hot poker and it went so sideways. He had to get skin grafts. It was a whole situation.
That's what it is.
Lacrosse.
Yeah.
Fucked up, man. But they think they're just having fucking games, right? Like fucking around.
It's not fun. It's not funny.
Know?
Yeah.
No.
It's like forced tickling. Get out of here. You know what I mean? Touch me.
It's exactly like forced tickling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all fun and it's like, fuck off. You know? That's what it is.
Richelle, what do you got for us?
Yeah, what do you got for us, kiddo?
Okay, speaking of Elon Musk. Okay.
Oh.
Just gonna have a stretch. Here's my boob. And Elon Musk is trying to get himself a nice little payout package. Did you guys see this?
Yeah.
He's trying to pay himself out like what, 63 billion or something like that, something wild. And they're going to maybe try and say no to it or say yes to it. I don't know, but he's put the package out there for people to either agree or disagree. And I'm not
to pay out package for what? Sorry, Twitter?
For him to just like retire, I think.
From what?
Just,
like who's paying him this?
The company.
Who's paying him?
Like Tesla, the everyone.
Oh,
yeah, Tesla 56 billion CEO pay.
Yeah. The 56.
But it's publicly traded, so this all has to go public and be.
Everybody has to accept it.
I see.
Him to get his payout, which I mean, brilliant idea. for you to just pay yourself out of the company and be like, I'm leaving. You're welcome, Amazonians in the Amazonian. He is quite a brilliant individual. Like, I totally respect
he's a genius.
hustle. Yeah, he's a fucking genius.
But he's also like not quite right upstairs when it comes to social. His connection to human beings, but we're all quite wily.
What is that one? Oh my God, was it Bill Gates that passed away? That he had like billions. Steve Jobs passes away. Pancreatic cancer with millions in his bank, and he can't do anything with it because he's passing away. And I think it's very bold of Elon Musk to be like, no, I want to live my life. Like, bye, I'm leaving.
Yeah, this dude's got more than enough money to live his life without having to worry about
more than enough.
It's like, it's those crazy fucking weird billionaire shit where they just have no actual like human sense, but they've got all the like the power, and it's the more. I don't know, from my experience or perspective anyways, where it's just like one more example where you're like, you just off your rocker, like not off your rocker in the sense that they're crazy at all, but just that like, I don't know. It's just like the fucking craziness of the wealth gap and all the weird shit, like the Amazon dude and you're just like, I don't know. Right. I don't even know where to begin with it. So I don't even have too many opinions outside of like, he's just one amongst a lot of like things that are kind of wrong with the world.
I'm worried that he knows something we don't.
Like what? Oh, like what are you thinking?
I don't know, that he's like, shit's going sideways. Like, I need all the money I can get and I'm fucking out of here. Wherever I can go in this world, I'm gone. I'm like, why are you trying to leave the business right now? What's happening? What's going on with Tesla? You created the internet. Why? What's going on? Are we at war?
The vote is seen as a referendum on Musk's leadership, as investors worry that the billionaire entrepreneur is distracted by his other ventures and that his often controversial comments are weighing on the reputation and sales of Tesla. Which I'm assuming it like as shareholders, they're probably worried about.
Right. When they want him out that much more. And then that's also part of his leverage. He's like, say fucking crazy piece of shit things. Don't you want me out? And like, so there's also that where you like leverage yourself for being a piece of shit and wanting to. Also, I read something about on the news about how from space you can see the lined up Teslas because there's so many that have been produced. And even though the sales are there's not enough sales to get them off the lots. So you can quite literally see the Teslas from space, like the lots.
What? And also the infrastructure to help those things freaking survive. Like even electric vehicles as it stands, we can't.
Infrastructure is not.
It's not there. And they're like creating these electric vehicles and it's like, you can't.
Do you know what I think about with electric vehicles? And this is my weather network brain, but I'm like in a highly earthquake prone area. And those with electric vehicles
going nowhere.
Go? Your entire grid's gone.
Or a flood or natural disaster of any kind. And I'll be in my freaking Chevy driving past all y'all motherfuckers.
We'll be on Dave's scrambler.
Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly. Marley in a backpack and just like in ditches, just like like fucking getting out of Dodge fast, man.
That you're so on point with that, Krissy. Yeah, seriously, what's gonna happen?
I'm really glad I don't have my 48 because I'd also the peanut tank. I'd be like, and I'm like, cool. I went $5.
And well,
out of gas.
Nowhere.
I guess I live in Coquette or Chilliwack now.
Yeah, this is
I'll loan you the Jazz. I'll loan you the Jazz. It goes far on $5. It's amazing.
Is the Jazz a scooter?
Yeah, I got the Honda Jazz. I got the two of them there. Nice. And we were ripping around to Soyuz this weekend. We didn't pay for gas once. It was crazy.
Oh, amazing.
Still a full tank flying around. We did winery tours. It was awesome.
That's awesome. Really cool.
Yeah. Let me know. You guys use them anytime. Yeah, that was my hot take. I just was so curious. I'm like, am I conspiracy theorist? I'm like, why is Elon Musk trying to leave the game?
Yeah, fair. Well, and like banks are all fucker-doodled. Like it's all fair.
What's happening with the banks?
Well, there's just like a bunch that are nearing insolvency. Just lighthearted stuff like that.
What does that even mean?
Well, we'll see.
Isn't it like insolvency? Does it mean like essentially like dissolving and no longer
The business is unable to pay their bills. So like bankruptcy. On that joyful note, mine's real lighthearted.
Oh,
it's not.
Okay.
Oh.
So obviously artificial intelligence has grown exponentially.
Oh, yes.
Would you like, this is going to creep you out for sure, Richelle. I had it up here. Let's say you're on your deathbed and you're like, oh man, I would just be so sad to lose my person and I'd want to be able to continue talking to them. Well, a gentleman on his deathbed was like, I have a solution, and created a new platform that uses AI to talk with deceased loved ones, the digital afterlife. So basically they train it up before they die with their persona. And now like voice is also something. And so you could still communicate with your deceased loved one, but their artificial intelligent version of themselves.
This was on a movie I watched, and they would like pick up a specific phone and they could talk to the loved one, even if it wasn't them. It was, I'm like, I watched this on a movie. Like,
what's the movie? Wait, whoa.
I don't remember, but I do remember watching it and being like, oh, like that would be pretty comforting. But here's the other thing:
a tombstone or planting a tree, they're like, here's your AI platform.
The only thing that I think would be, because a part of me is like, well, like if you're having that like experience to essentially like have a little balm over the pain of the grief, right? Because you're getting to have that kind of like, smelling a sweater that you loved one wore, and the like taking you back into the moment of their essence, if you will. Yeah. But that's, and more than thinking you're talking, but I think it fucks way too much with the psyche of those parts of people not being able to actually accept that their loved one has died. Totally. And so I think that's where it would go really fucking haywire, is like people not being able to actually move on in their lives and invite other things, because they would be likely, most wouldn't recognize the shift and would get trapped in a mental state of of denial that their loved one is still alive. And it could really fuck with your psyche and your mental health. That's the part where I'm like, I don't actually find it that creepy. What I find it is like, it could be a quite beautiful option for people to like have a virtual memory, right? Watching an old video of a loved one, but you're having a real time experience with them through that. But I don't think as a collective, we're mentally well enough that it will go in that direction, or we're grounded enough in understanding like death. We're so fucking scared of death, especially in westernized society as it is. Right. We're so disconnected from it, death. It's this like horrible thing that may not happen in our heads, which is insane because it is going to happen. Right. Hazel's made sure that it's happening quicker for most of us. Oh, right. But it's like speed bump. But yeah, so I just look at it as like, I'm like, oh, actually that could be quite beautiful, but I hope it doesn't come, because we're all not doing well collectively. And I feel like that would really throw a big fucking wrench into it.
Yeah, the one of them, it's called Eternos, and the technology allows Bomber's family to engage with his life experiences and insights. It's among several companies that have emerged in the last few years in what's becoming a growing space, grief-related AI technology. And so to your point, exactly that. I think it satiates a need or a want in those moments of grief, but
of course,
the repercussions, I think, would be mammoth. How do you move on?
What if it was, okay, so my grandmother was, I love you so much, Grandma. You were an actual nightmare though. I'm so sorry. But what if, like, I remember my grandmother being a total nightmare, and I remember my grandpa, I think he was like ready for her to die. Yeah. What if she was like, I'm going to create an AI for you. And it's like a fucking Furby. And it's like, you're like, I don't want that. I don't want you to be alive anymore. And there's like this AI just in the house, just like, can you come in here, please? and it's like at night, you've like put it in the closet, and it's like, Krissy. You're like, fuck. Like, you know what I mean? Like, imagine.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like we're not even that far from imagining in real life. And that's the thing with AI. It's so interactive. Like for even myself over the last couple of weeks in time, like you can utilize it to like
everything,
prompt yourself for everything, and like a lot of mental health platforms now are relying on AI because obviously benefits in most people's things are massively cut. They aren't able to have access to care, and so AI platforms are taking over that space in a huge way.
That was one of my stories today, was that AI passed like the bar or whatever. It was like, it's like huge story that ChatGPT is like passing exams that are very difficult and some and intellectual. Like you have to actually be in thought, and it's like passing these tests, and people are like, we don't know what to do here. Like, holy shit, it's huge. I use ChatGPT for a lot of stuff, working on motorcycles. Like if I just want to look up a torque spec or, you know, like the story on something, and I even use it to diagnose sometimes. I'll talk
that
to
makes
it.
Great sense. And why wouldn't you? Like it elevates. It can be so complimentary, but the line we are riding is
it's very, very thin,
fascinating to experience in real time. Because I mean, all of us around similar age, it's like we've been through the wave of growing up without a cell phone, and then getting one, and it's T9 texting, and then all of a sudden it's a computer. Like we have experienced all these shifts, and once again, I mean, this one is just moving so rapidly, and the fact that it's voice, video.
It's crazy.
Oh, it's
very
a lot
eerie.
of time to be alive. Good thing we're all dying.
AI is that incredible. I think it should be also like really, because so many teachers and so many parents and everyone's kind of like trying to get their kids to like, don't rely on AI. And I'm like, well, AI has a lot of benefits and it's here to stay. It has a lot of like, obviously shit to it, but I guess I think of it as like, and I think where it's really useful to teach to young people is like, use it to enhance your intelligence, not as a substitute for your intelligence.
Yes.
Because some young people are going to get away with using it for tests or this or that. But it's like when you go into the real world and they need your knowledge and you have none because you've been utilizing that, you're going to pay a price no matter what. And it's going to be a big one because you're going to be behind the curve on things because you're not actually learning versus using it to like kickstart. So like, even if you read, like a lot of times for my school, I'll like read something and I'm like, I don't know what that means. And so I'll write that same line in ChatGPT and write, can you say this in layman's terms? Okay, say it another way. Use it in a sentence when it comes to counseling a client. So I get that line that I don't understand, that I know is important to understand. And I just plug that in and get that to kickstart so that I can wrap my head around it. Versus like Googling and this or that, or like messaging my professor and being like, oh, I'm a little bit confused as to what it's asking here. Like, it's that, how do I get the information right now so I can obtain the information and then utilize that for the next step?
Yeah.
It's coming to your iPhone. They just announced that this week. It's an update that's soon to come. AI will be at our fingertips. And by tips, I mean tips.
Tippy-tappies.
You just went off-roading with the Motovation Podcast, hosted by Laurie Joy Kingwell and myself, Krissy Vann.
And of course, a special thank you to Richelle from True Grit Moto.
Whoop, boss it.
Never miss an episode by hitting like or subscribe. Connect with us on Instagram at Motovation Podcast and visit our website at themotovation.com. And in the meantime, full pegs, full throttle.
I think this is good though. It's like healthy, you know? Like people will be like, oh my God, I don't floss.
It must be so hard not to laugh to get through this intro.